So any practitioner or coach, or person for that matter, will come across many people navigating traumatic experiences and the related life hardships, keeping in mind that often we might be unaware of what people are going through in life at any given time. And in these scenarios, what we say matters big time, as words carry incredible power to lift up and support or tear down and cause harm. If you're a practitioner or coach of any kind, including a business coach, this is hugely important because rapport with your clients is foundational to the outcomes they achieve and the success of your business. So stick around till the end of today's video, Coaching Clients with Complex Trauma, Things to Say and Not to Say, because we're going to share a list of things people say, often with the best intentions, that run a high likelihood of being triggering and therefore rapport wrecking, as well as a list of things to consider saying instead when conversing with those that share their challenges with us. I'm Jennifer Ellis Schutz, functional health practitioner and transformational coach, and you're watching the Wellness Code Academy channel.
And I'm Sarah Korzeniewski, otherwise known as the Organic Dietitian. Also a chronic health issue warrior, an avid self-healer, and Jen's partner here in the Wellness Code Academy. This said, addressing unresolved trauma and emotional regulation are absolutely essential pieces of the puzzle of any healing journey. And when it comes to guiding clients on these pieces, while there are many components involved, two of the most critical factors that clients often need in a practitioner relationship, especially when just beginning, are number one, a sense of safety, and number two, empathy, feeling seen and heard, a sense that one is understood and feels validated. Without these things in place, the relationship from the get-go won't be therapeutic, but rather draining to both parties. In the spirit of preventing this from happening, let's start with 12 things that, as Jen mentioned earlier, are quite common and often said with the best of intentions, but in reality are very trauma uninformed, toxic positive, and run a high risk of being triggering and causing further harm. As I share this list, please know that we're not saying that these statements don't have merit and should never be said no matter what. That's not the case, as in some scenarios they can be strategic, motivating, and inspiring, especially once a certain degree of healing has happened, or a person reads or hears them in a video and decides for themselves how to take and apply them. Amidst the throes of a conversation where somebody is sharing their hardships and are filled with emotional charge, however, we've learned that it's best for you, them, and the collective, and the success of your business to avoid saying them. So let's get started. Number one, everything happens for a reason. Number two, your parents or family did the best they could. Number three, healing begins with forgiveness. Number four, you're stronger because of your experiences. Number five, you're always right where you're supposed to be. Number six, anger is a toxic emotion with low vibration. You gotta let that go. Number seven, I know exactly how you feel, as I once had the exact same thing happen to me. Number eight, think of all the people you'll help because of your experiences. Number nine, God doesn't give anyone more than they can handle. Number 10, God or any power heals, but only those that are ready and willing to receive his love. Number 11, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And Last but certainly not least, number 12, it's important to see the silver lining in all situations.
On the flip side, we can still have helpful and supportive conversations with people going through tough times. Here are 10 trauma-informed and much gentler and more empathic things to consider saying instead. Number 1, I believe you, and what you're sharing sounds really tough. Number 2, what do you need most right now? Number 3, you've experienced immense challenges. No wonder you feel the way you do. Number 4, anger is a normal, healthy, and protective response to unjust, abusive, and crappy situations, especially prolonged ones. Number 5, I've never walked in your shoes, so I can only imagine what your experience has been. I want to better understand you. Number 6, your experience is 100% valid regardless of others' experiences and what others say about yours. Number 7, how can I best help you? Number 8, yes, forgiveness is indeed an important part of releasing ourselves from the emotional grip of hurtful experiences. But it's a bio-individual process, and you get to decide what it means to you and how and when it fits in with your experiences. Number 9, lack of empathy around trauma is common. Those that are quick to tell others forgive and forget tend not to be well versed in how trauma lives on in the nervous system in the present moment. And when forgiveness seems like too far of a stretch and inappropriate, which it can in some cases, no doubt, then it's time to replace forgiveness with acceptance of what happened and give up all hope of changing the past as a way to help release ourselves from the painful hold it has on us. And finally, number 10, yes, there is indeed some truth to the statement, all things happen for a reason, and we're always right where we're supposed to be. But for goodness sakes, there are no absolutes that apply to everyone's circumstances or all of life. Bottom line is that there are some things that are so awful and damaging that should have never have happened. And we're not always right where we're supposed to be. Sometimes where we're at is so toxic and harmful that we need to get out as soon as possible. All right, so to bring all this together, it's important to understand that trauma comes in many forms. And as Dr. Gabor Mate says, trauma is not what happens to you, but what happens inside of you. And I'll add to this by saying that it's most often the lack of support, empathy, and validation that trauma survivors face in the aftermath of their experiences that causes the most harm and leads to accumulated stress that anchors in the nervous system versus the traumatic experiences themselves. We ourselves, Sarah and I, have had to navigate tough times in our own journeys. And as practitioners and coaches that now support clients dealing with chronic health and life issues, it has been important to understand the role that unresolved trauma of all kinds plays in wreaking havoc in our physiology, our psychology, and all aspects of life. Helping clients navigate the role that trauma has played in their lives and work with them in a beyond the biochemical, whole person-based capacity has made the difference in empowering them to become their own best self-healers and has been a pivotal part of us both building thriving waitlist practices. If this resonates with you and you would love to learn more about this trauma-informed beyond the biochemical approach, be sure to check out our Wellness Code Holistic Healing, Wellness, and Life Optimization Practitioner Training Program, which is a cohort program that runs 1 to 2 times a year. You can find info and links in the video information area, and be sure to sign up for our newest freebie, a core missing link in your coaching practice. Tap into the power of the subconscious mind. And that's a wrap for this week's video. I hope you found value and inspiration in it. And if you'd like to see more from us, be sure to like the video, drop a comment below, and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and hitting the bell next to it to be notified each time a new video is released. In the meantime, cheers to your success.